Get into it. Coach Colin here. Man, I know I'm a touch late on this, but Van Jones versus Vivek. I want all the smoke. Apologize to my wife, Ramaswamy, not playing around. This is a very, very gangster moment for Vivek. I've never seen anything like this, and I would pay big money to see more of this. Now, Van Jones said a bunch of things. He said all sorts of things about all sorts of political people, obviously all Republican because CNN is middle of the road if you're only on the left side of the road. So he says some stuff about Vivek, and apparently some wild things happened in Vivek's life because of what he said. And then Vivek catches Van Jones outside. Oh my goodness. I love to see this. Now, what I'm going to show you first is a little bit of what he said. Then I'm going to show you how Vivek responded. And then I have actually Van Jones explaining to Vivek's wife. This has never been seen before, ladies and gentlemen. This is a clip you're not going to see anywhere else, but let's start with this.
Condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
I say that on that last debate stage to.
And this is the clip where Vivek tells Van Jones to shut the F up because of what he said. Because that is such an unhinged thing to say. You know that you can't exactly accuse him of being a Nazi because he's an Indian person. You know you can't quite go there, but you're like, oh, it's one step away. And I was shaking hearing him talk. He's going to outlive Trump. And you know what? You're going to outlive Wolf Blitzer and probably Anderson Cooper. And we should all be upset about that. But we don't go around calling you one step away from being a Nazi. And you know what? If you really examine their ideology, we probably could make the argument. You're constantly spewing propaganda. You're acting like you're crying on TV to drum up the emotions of the American people, to get them on your side, on your network side with the ideology that you spew out. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, Vivek catches him outside. Vivek's like, I got something to say, bud. Okay? You didn't think you'd ever see me. Look at Van Jones already. He's like, I gotta go. Vivek's like, hold on a second, pal. Okay, hold on one second. Listen to this.
So we got death threats. We got death threats after the thing you said. So that's Van Jones for you.
So on air, I actually don't swear. I did it very intentionally that one time, and I want you to just know about it because I think it's important. So you were on air, and you said that he's a demagogue, he's dangerous, he's going to be around for 50 years, long after Donald Trump's gone. For the first time in the campaign, we get a death threat of a man who wants to show up in New Hampshire. Thankfully, the police intervened, got it. The next day, back-to-back days, so my wife's scared enough. The next day, we wake up, it's 3 a.m., we get a call from him. He's my security guard saying, thank God you picked up, because we just got a call that somebody showed up at your house and has 4 dead bodies out. So that's within 48 hours, and I'm not going to attribute that to your comment because whatever it is. But for our family, you know what? Publicly I didn't do it, but for our family, yeah, it pissed us the heck off, actually. And so the reality is, I don't try to engage in rhetoric that gets other people in danger of bodily harm, but I do think that if somebody's going to, even if you didn't intend to provoke that kind of ire on my family, yeah, in that week it landed with me. Now, at the same time, am I going to...
Test.
Do I want to set a good example for people in this country of what discourse looks like? I do. And in the heat of a presidential campaign, and I've been open about it since I left the campaign as well. My competitive spirits, sometimes stop us from being able to have the level of discourse we want. And I think you were wrongfully pushed out of the White House for your comments around 9/11 way back when as well. They were misconstrued. Exactly. So what I will tell you is this. Yep. So I just wanted you to know that backdrop. That's my personal song. Don't give it to anybody else.
I will call you in a couple of days and I'll apologize to you.
Okay, well, we don't need to do any of this on air.
But I will call your wife and apologize.
You know what we can do is you can turn the page and maybe have a chapter to demonstrate what actual good discourse looks like in this country. And that's not just on you, that's on me as well. Okay, that's on two of us. Yeah, hey, it's classy of you to say so, and I hope we can build a friendship. I really mean that. Please do. Okay? Thank you. Take care.
Oh man. Wow. Face to face. This is what never happens to these mainstream talking heads. They never get the face to face. Now, a little bit of that translation was off. Van Jones actually says, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll call your wife. I'll apologize to your wife. You know, they're trying to give personal numbers, exchange numbers. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to Benny Johnson for being there and being willing to record this conversation. Oh my God. I'm so happy that happened to Van Jones. I'm so happy. They need so much more of this. They need this. They're just calling people Nazi. They're comparing people to Hitler. They're saying things that are just outwardly false. And they have the fact checkers on their side, and they have the DNC. They have everybody on their side. They're just allowed to say this stuff, and no one ever corrects them. I've said it so many times. People like me who are doing this in a spare room, we're like, oh, let me research real quick to make sure. Oh, I gotta just check some sources. And these guys are like, sources be damned. I am the source. They're like, Trump is basically German with what he said. He said poison the blood. So did Hitler at one time, kind of. Done deal. They're the same person. It's crazy what they're allowed to do. I'm so glad he got called out. And Vivek wasn't playing around, man. If you hear what Vivek was saying, he was talking about somebody who he said something about 4 dead bodies. And somebody was after them. Apparently, I guess it was somebody who had 4 bodies, not like on them, but they're responsible for 4 dead bodies, and they wanted to see Vivek as well. That's wild, man. But that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happened to Trump. Everybody knows that. You compare a guy to Hitler 100, 1,000, 10,000 times. There's going to be someone in the nation who's going to be like, well, this guy's Hitler. And that's why Trump supporters are met with violence. They're met with people taking off their hats, taking their American flags, taking their Trump signs, all sorts of stuff like that. Constantly met with that type of violence, that type of unhinged behavior because of what these guys continuously say to people. I'm so glad Vivek did that. And he did it in the most Vivek way possible. It pissed us the heck off, you know? that is politician speak for like, yo, bro, you want to go outside though? Because we can go outside. Because no. Because my wife was scared. I don't care how tall you are, bro. I'm tall too. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? The suit comes off, bro. The suit comes off. That's what Vivek was saying right there. Oh man. And Van Jones actually did respond. I do have footage of him actually explaining to Vivek's wife what the problem was. Just so you know, here it is.
You know, I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. There was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know. And you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you. And you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together. And this is a big deal for us just to be able to get some peace and have a chance for a reset. And the character of the country matters. And being a good man matters. You know, I just want my sons to look at this. Look at this. You know, it's easy to do it the cheap way and get away with stuff, but it comes back around.
There you go. That was him explaining to Miss Vivek Ramaswamy, explaining to her just, you know, where he was coming from in regular Van Jones form completely covered in snot and tears as he lets loose a fake, unbelievable cry. You know, that's just how Van Jones does it. I'm surprised he didn't do that right in front of Vivek. I'm surprised right away he didn't just start going. It's just I heard you talk and I was shaking and I didn't know how to explain it to my son. The snot just comes down. Vivek would have been like, "Oh God, okay, okay. I'm just gonna let's just leave it here, okay? Let's put a pin in this. Can we put a pin in this, please? I'll call your wife and I'll explain." Can you imagine you're Van Jones one day and you see this video? He's gonna call me out like Vivek called him out. He's gonna be like, you know what? Okay, my sons saw that video and they laughed. Okay, you know what it's like to have your son laugh at you while some comedian does a fake cry, imitating you? Do you know what that's like? And I'm gonna be like, you know what? Here's my personal number. I will talk to your son, okay? And then when I talk to him, I just do more of it. I just make fun of him more. You seen your dad fake cry? He's like, yeah, I saw it. I always tell him not to do that. Oh, man. We're going to be good friends, man. Listen, I got a comedy show. You should come out sometime. Got free tickets for you and your dad. Oh my gosh. But it's a lovely thing to see. It's a lovely thing to see these guys get called out. That's exactly what needs to happen. More of that needs to happen. More of that needs to happen. Where they actually get in these people's faces. Can you imagine Trump getting in Joe Scarborough's face and being like, you called me a Nazi 8,700 times. You got me shot, Joe. Joe, you and Mika got me shot. I've been very nice to Mika. You know I've donated money to Mika and her. You know I have. Been very nice, Joe. Joe be like, I didn't do that. You did that with all the things you said. I mean, you put out a tweet that was mean. I mean, that's pretty much the same as Hitler. I think I'm coming from a good place here. They'd have no explanation. That's a crazy thing that Trump never actually does that, because Trump could easily do that. Trump could hold a press conference and just see somebody in the meeting, Caitlin Collins, and just be like, you know, you got me shot, right? He could just say that to all of them. He could hold a press conference and just be like, all of you got me shot. You know that, right? You gonna write stories again, get my head blown off? Is that what you guys are here to do? He could easily do that. I'm so surprised he hasn't. Oh, man. Such a lovely moment, man. I keep saying, you know, there's a lot of people who could be president in 2028. You know, RFK is there. I mean, he could run again. You know, he would be older, but, you know, RFK is taking something because this guy's built. So I think he'll be fine come 2028. Vivek definitely on that list. I mean, a lot of people suggest Tulsi, but I see Vivek being president. I wouldn't say better, but I can picture it easier myself. And it's not because she's a woman. It's just what Vivek has laid out. You know, it's not a competition of who's more America first, but Vivek seems like the next generation of MAGA, whereas Tulsi is very America first, but I don't know how she would handle that position. And Vivek has laid it out quite well, like quite well. And a lot of what Vivek wants to do actually aligns with things that RFK Jr.'s wanted to do and aligns with things that Trump wanted to do. So he would just be great going against Gavin Newsom, because that's probably what's going to end up happening. Gavin Newsom's going to run. I would love to see Vivek in that position, you know, for sure. JD Vance, I guess, is there, but I see Vivek more so. I was really hoping Vivek would be the VP pick. I'll be honest with you. I'm not mad at JD now. He's a beast when it comes to handling the mainstream media, an absolute beast. But so was Vivek, quite honestly, you know? So, I don't know. This is a fun little episode. You know, we don't get these moments quite often. Again, shout out to Benny Johnson for actually recording this. You know, I know his camera was going all over the place a little bit, and that's annoying, but he probably was trying to make sure that Van had an authentic, quote unquote, authentic as someone who works for CNN could possibly be. an authentic reaction, you know, trying not to, you know, because, you know, if Van knew that he had the camera on him, he might have stuck his chest out a little more, and Vivek would have had to give him an uppercut. Can you imagine they just start slugging it out? Whoo! I don't know who Van's a big boy, but he cries at the drop of a hat. So I got my bets on Vivek. I gotta say. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. It helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.